Hello, welcome to another episode of Sudoku and Variants. Let me put the title of this one. This is another centers puzzle. This is easy number 2. Today we're solving an easy centers. Yes, this one takes American spelling, story Brits. I'll probably say it every single time. The numbers 1 through 9 cannot repeat in any row or column or in any of these pretty beachy like boxes, or in any of the 3 by 3 grids where you see the thicker black lines. Now, now, now there is another one of these I solved whereby I went to beachy like boxes first, but I'm going to start on the second row here. Now I see there is only one missing number, so I count and put it in. 2. Now I am going to look at the second column. I see the 2, 7, 6, 6, etc. I will count and know I am missing the 8 and 9. Here is a new technique that I do not have a name for. But when doing centers and you have 2 numbers needed, but the columns and the rows do not help you at all, you can look at the centers. Now we are missing an 8 and a 9. I will look at all the center beachy squares and see if I find an 8 or a 9. 731 blank blank 4 blank 25. Alas, sorry, no 8 or a 9. But if it did have an 8 but not a 9, then I would know that this box would take the 9. Why would I know this? We can't duplicate numbers in any beachy square either. But we did not find an 8 or a 9, so I will look at this 3 by 3 grid in the middle here on the left side. I see a 9, which means I cannot put another 9 here. So I put the 9 down here instead and the 8 up here. Moving on. I will now look at column 8, if I can spell it. I count 1, 2 is missing, 3, 4, 5, 6 is missing, 7, 8, and 9. Two and 6 is missing. I then look at the centers, those beachy squares. I see a 2 right here. Now I know that I cannot put another 2 in any beachy square called the center. This means that I can only put a 6 here. I look at the other centers and I see that I am only missing one number. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and no 9. I put in the 9. I am going to look at the top left 3 by 3 grid. It is only missing one number. Count the numbers in order and put in that number. Did you put in the 5? Good. Now look at that top row and put in that missing number. I put in the 8. I look at the 3 by 3 grid in the upper rows and see that I am missing a 2 and a 9. I look at the fourth column and see a 2. I cannot put another 2 here, so I put the 9 here instead. And put the 2 in the other empty square. Now the last 3x3 grid on top is missing the 7 and 8. I look at the 7th column and do not find a 7 or an 8. I then look at the last column and see an 8. Where would you put the 7 and the 8? I put the 8 in the first empty square and the 7 at the very end of the row. Let's look at row 4. I find that I am missing the 1 and the 2, but if you look at that middle 3x3 grid, you see a 2, and the first 3x3 grid only has one empty square. Where do you think the 2 goes? Yes, the 2 goes here, and now I have only, let's try, and now I am only missing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Column 4 has a 5. Column 6 has both a 1 and a 7. What does this tell you? What does column 6 have? Have a 1, 5, or a 7? This tells us that I must put a 5 in the middle square here so that I do not put another 1 or 7 in the same column as another 1 or 7. And because the column 6 has a 7, I know that the 1 goes here and the 7 goes in the other spot. Row 5. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, missing 5, 6, and has 7, 8, 9. So I am missing the 5 and the 6. I look at the first 3 by 3 grid and do not see a 5 or a 6 here. I look at the last 3 by 3 grid and see a 6. Where would you put the 5 and the 6 now? Yes? Yes, the 6 goes in the first slot and the 5 in the last slot. Row 6 might not be ready for us, but I'm ready for it. Oh, I see the middle 3 by 3 grid is only missing one number. Fill it in. I put in the 8. The first grid is missing what numbers? Column 3 and 5 are missing. Do you know which column gets the 3 and which column gets the 5? Look at column 1. Do you see a 3 or a 5 there? This clues us in that we need a 3 here. And the 5 here. The last 3 by 3 grid is missing the 2 and the 7. Again, I look at the columns to see if I can find a 2 or a 7. I do find a 7 in column 8. I put a 2 in this column, so I do not duplicate the 7s. This means the other box gets the 7, and we are done here. Rows 7 is missing the 2, 4, and 6. All even numbers. I look at the third column and I find a 2, but no 4 or 6. I look at the fourth column and I see a 2 and a 6. I look at the seventh column and I see a 4 and 6. Think. If column 4 has a 2 and a 6, what number must go here? Did you say 4? Good. Think. If column 7 has a 4 and a 6, what number must go here? Did you say 2? Good. What number is left over? Please put that number in now. I put in the 6. Okay, row 8 is missing the 7, 8, and the 9. I look at column 1. What does column 1 tell you? Do you know what number goes there? Look at column 3. Do you know what number goes here? Hint. And you should have already put in one number in the first column. And we cannot duplicate numbers, and this column already has a 7 and a 9. This means I put the 8 here, and then in the last spot I put the 9. Last row. Yay! We are doing this. Now every single column that is missing a number only has one number to put in. So you should be able to solve this without me. I will put in those numbers now. Count correctly, and you will solve them too. notice that the last row should read 2, 9, 4, 1, 8, 6, 5, 7, 3. You have solved a centers easy puzzle with me, puzzle number 2. Thank you. Thank you for for joining me. It ain't working for me. Um, why is this not working for me? Oh, please like, subscribe, and share so that I can get help spreading the word. I hugely appreciate this. Thank you. And apparently, I do not have a like and and subscribe image that I can find. Yeah, I looked and bumped things over here. Yep. Bye.